Happy holidays, everybody. Uh, hi, Rideshare Lisa. Hi, Marissa. Hi, JJ. Hi, Queen. Queen's been in here typing comments at you, Arturo, since before
Yeah,
the before the thing started.
Queen's a big
Yeah, yeah.
big follower.
Hi, Ruxin. What's up? Uh, thanks for joining us, guys. Happy holidays.
Yes,
Uh,
Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New
yeah.
Year,
Whatever
everything
you
like
do,
that.
celebrate. Yeah.
hmm
Happy time of year. Hey, Kim. Can you see my tree? I don't know if I
Hello,
can
Kim.
move it so
Thank you for
that.
joining.
Oh, well, can you kind of tell? Because I was gonna do something else, but hopefully you can. What's up, Mort? Uh, but I wanted you to see the tree because you know this, Arturo. Kim's tree's been up since like the day after. I think it was the day after Halloween.
Yeah,
So
I
I can't.
usually do that, but I've been really busy. I've been really working hard
That's
lately.
how I was this year. I mean, when my son was a couple years younger, we did a couple years in a row of going up to Winter Park and sawing our own down. You basically just pay a $20 fee to go into the national forest, and you can come out with any tree you want.
I actually have a friend who works at a nursery, and he pretty much pays for the tree. Probably gets a discount, and then we
Right.
get free fruit. And we don't really put a wreath in the front door, but the tree we always get. This time we got a miniature one. Where is it? Where's the tree? It's right there.
All right.
Oh, that's the top of the tree. It's a little tree. We're running
Uh,
out of room over here. My wife took over the living room.
yeah, our house gets that way too. I feel like I'm always juggling stuff, like moving stuff out of my room that's been bugging me piles into another
Yeah.
room. Then somebody comes to visit, it's like I move them all out back into my room to bug me again. I don't know. But yeah, what's up, Nick? What's up? Whoever else has been showing up, we'll catch up in a few minutes with that. But Arturo, what you got going for the holidays first?
Holidays? Tomorrow. I mean, that's my routine. I wake up 7 in the morning. I turn on my roadside app. Roadside starts at 7.
Right?
So I put my alarm for 7, and then I turn on the app. Then I go back to sleep. And
Is
then
it roadside for like insurance or for like toll
it.
roads?
I got hired through Allstate,
Okay.
but Allstate told me not to make that. Not to tell the customers that because they also subcontract to car dealers, other insurances. Verizon has this thing that you plug in and it tells you if you got low tire pressure or low battery, and if you need help, it connects you to. It's kind of like OnStar, but through
Uh-huh.
Verizon. It goes through your computer of the car. They also do the OnStar. So there's many other. They subcontract to other companies.
Right.
So, but yeah, technically I'm hired through Allstate, and they're called Allstate Good Hands Rescue, and
Right.
they keep me busy at least one a day, and they pay
Yeah.
out anywhere from $20 to $28, which for me it's good. But for the actual people who do this for a living, for roadside, and they have the tow trucks and all that, they don't like me. It's kind of like the delivery people that take the $3 orders.
Right.
The real people who do towing and simple roadside, they don't like the fact that I take the $20 orders because they're trying to bill out anywhere from $50 to $100 just for a jump start or a tow. And
Right.
if you go through the Allstate Good Hands Rescue app to get a service, it is, I think, the cheapest service is about $80. So I understand where they're coming from, but for me it's just a side job. So for me, $20 to $28 is more than enough. And if I get an extra tip, that's just a
Yeah,
cherry.
I mean the other thing is too that we all know that they if tow truck drivers don't want those.
No.
So they got to find somebody somewhat cheaper to do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that person can be waiting forever till a tow truck basically is driving by and says, "Fine, I'll grab it."
Yeah,
But
no, like I said, they do them, but they charge a lot more for them.
right,
So,
right, right. That's what I'm
you
saying.
know,
Yeah,
they like I have Facebook groups where they I go on them, and then the all most of the comments from the people who do this for a full time, they're like, "Oh well, you're ruining the business." But meanwhile, it's not my full time, and it's not my main source of income. So I just scroll down the comments, and I just go to the comments that are helpful and then have to do with what I'm looking for. And
right.
it's like any other social media. You're always gonna have the people who like and dislike something. That's
Well,
everywhere.
the one reason I was actually asking you about that is I have a buddy out here who now he's been working for two different companies over the past like 11 years laying fiber optic cables because you get paid
Yeah,
really well to do that out here.
yeah,
But
yeah.
before that, he was doing what you were doing, but for a toll road, and it was a W-2 federal or state job.
Oh yeah, they
It was like patrol between here, which also included the airport exit here in Denver. But basically, all he did all day was just drive back and forth on the toll road. And anybody that got broke down got a freebie because they were paying the toll.
right. They offer that service through there's an insurance company here, Farmers, I think. Um, and
Well,
yes, I applied for it.
this was a Colorado Department of Transportation truck, and he never charged anybody. They never took any money.
Yes,
No,
it's a free service. They have
yeah,
that similar here through it's called a help truck, Highway Emergency Local Patrol. So they do what you say. They park on the highway or somewhere off an exit, and then they just roam back and forth looking for broken down cars, and they offer free gas service or free.
yeah,
And the other thing about that is I'm not allowed to service on the highway. You need a special permit for that.
right,
So I was told that if I do get caught on the highway, and the state trooper can tow my car, and the customer's car, because we're not allowed to service on the highway. Or the other thing, once you get off the highway, there's actual roads that still pertain to the highway to get on or off the exit. They're called highway extensions. Those we're not allowed to service on either. So there
right,
are limits to what you can do.
right.
I have done some on the highway because the customer calls me, and they have the state trooper or the local police, and they're like, "No, the police says it's fine. Just come. He's here right behind me." I'm like, "Well, put the officer on the phone because I'm not getting my car towed for $20." If it's something simple, I'll go. But
Yeah,
most of the time on the highway, it's gonna be a gas service or a tire change. That's the
yeah.
most common that's going to happen on the highway.
Yeah, he used to tell me about all the cool stuff that he would find because,
Yeah,
well, here in Colorado, people on the toll road are often throwing out stuff they bought while they were visiting here
yeah,
because we've been a legal state longer than anybody. So on their way to the airport, people would just throw all the crap they had bought here
yeah,
out the window before returning the car. So my friend started learning all these fishing spots where to get that. He's into that kind of thing. So
yeah.
he
No,
would just he'd be like just hanging out there kind of thing. But yeah.
yeah,
Um. So I was gonna ask you this because it's kind of like I was telling my girlfriend about this that you do kind of what I do. You're kind of like a jack of all trades kind of thing. Like
yes,
you do the gig work like I do too, and I've been doing it since 2014. But like I do lasers, I can do lighting, I can do pyrotechnics if I have that's the lead, not me.
yes,
These are for huge shows too. Uh,
yeah,
like your local, whatever, like stadium type shows, 30,000 plus type shows. So
big,
but
big
yeah,
show.
lighting, lasers especially, that's my thing. I do some computer consulting. I've been in the bar industry for 25 years. So I've even managed in that industry. But most of the jobs have been IC along the way. And and then I do the gig. And since 2014, I've done 29,000 ride shares. I've done uh I've touched into the food services. I never really did it a ton. Um I've done a lot of curry and some other random apps, but I've avoided the food apps like crazy. And
Why is that?
well, I mean, not no no not delivery. I'm
Yeah.
talking about grocery.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Shopping is not for
And if
me
I
either.
remember right, you don't like those either.
No, the closest I've gotten to grocery, well, it's not even grocery, but it was Jenny Craig, and it didn't go too well. Anyway, it was only
Oh,
because
you've never even tried them like me.
no, 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 I haven't tried them. I only gave it a shot because of Lisa. Lisa, that was when the Para app was doing it, and she said, "Oh, I want to see," so I took on a Jenny Craig, and I don't remember if it was showing the full pay or not. So I took it and I got no tip, and it was like 10 miles for like $6. So
Yeah.
that's not worth it. My minimum that I take is $7, or I try to go for $2 per mile. Now my new thing, because they all the offers are coming in so low. Now my new thing is I try to go with $1 per mile, where I drop off my order, I stay and I sit there and I park there, and then wherever it takes me. I used to always drive back to home because the orders were paying good, and I like to stay in my area because I know pretty much all the streets after driving a taxi for 4 years. It gets easier. You don't even have to use the navigation. The only reason I use the navigation is because it reminds me, make a left turn, and because sometimes I'm daydreaming or thinking of other things I got to do because of the juggling of the apps and all my electrical work and the family and all that stuff. I
Yeah.
put the GPS on, and it's kind of like, wake up, you got to go do this.
Yeah.
I use the navigation as a reminder to myself.
Yeah,
But
no doubt. But so before we even get into the apps uh that you do, what I wanted to point out is anybody in here, hey, what's up, Double M? What's up, Thomas?
hey, Double M, thank you for showing up.
But yeah, so basically, if anybody in this room, and I know some of you in here do, uh, if you do Instacart, I'm gonna share the screen right now. If I can do this, I'm gonna try anyway. Because just today, I've had on Matt, the CEO of Dumpling a few times,
Hmm.
and there's a lot to Dumpling. I've got some videos up on it, but it's definitely worth checking out because it's actually owning your own business. And he gave a promo to me tonight to put a banner up on my website, uberliftdrivers.com. That's if you sign up right now and put Rodeo 500 and do 10 um, deliveries in the first 90 days, you get $500. I get nothing, but you get $500. Here's the thing about Dumpling, though, guys. You have to have your own customers. It is truly not a app based, we're dishing you customers. You set your rates, you discuss with the customer, you can make deals, they become long term customers. It's a business. Dumpling gives you the card, they charge you 2% on your order. You're clear up to $700 to take care of your customers. You're in direct contact with them. I'll let all of you look that up, but let me see if I can just share this real quick because um, he's Joel's just a super good guy, the CEO and founder of the company. And yeah, when I told him, he was like, "Yeah, let's do that." So yeah, okay. So there we go. Dumpling, new year, new gig business. The reason he took out the gig was because this truly is your own business. This is not a platform that will be dishing you customers, but they have like training programs for free and like you can have a coach for free and all these things. And I recommend anybody interested or that does Instacart to go watch the roundtable that I did with dumpling shoppers. And yeah, I used 4 dumpling shoppers in 4 different markets, but it was awesome and we learned a lot. And basically just how few regular customers it takes to make money, especially when you're setting the price. And the guy who owns it too, last thing I'm gonna say about it, the guy who owns it, is he's pro you doing anything else for these people too. Like if you're delivering groceries, you get a customer, right? He's okay with you saying if they because this happens a lot on his platform. Hey, do you mind bringing the groceries inside and putting them in the fridge? I'll make you a key because they get to know you. Or hey, do you mind while you're doing that and putting them in the fridge? Would you let my dog out? Hey, we're going away this weekend. Could you watch my dog? Like I've heard a lot of good stories about how this grocery gig leads to you being able to like make deals where nobody's interfering. It's your deal. The dumpling only takes 2% on the credit card charges, so anything you do off of the grocery app is just between you and the customer, and he's okay with it. It's pretty cool. Anyway,
That
check it out, you guys. It's on uberliftdrivers.com. Check the banner, click it. It takes you and it fully explains it. It's good stuff. That's all I'll say about it.
that is one thing on some of the contracts that you sign, like with the roadside. I can't take their customers, or if they find out, they can fine me up to $10,000 and take me to court.
You don't have to be taking customers. Just start with,
Yeah.
here's what I've learned from everyone. Like, we all have family or friends around
Oh yeah.
us. Pick a family member or a friend, right? And say, hey, can I get your groceries for you? I'm just trying to learn this app, like, and you, again, you're working out the price. So don't just say, hey, I'm just going to shop for your groceries because I'm trying to learn the app. And then just ask them to, and I've heard this from a lot of people, and then just ask them to, hey, let other people know, because it's shocking how many people do want groceries. So if like your family member was like, dude, that was pretty cool the way you just brought all that to me and it worked and cool, like, well, if you do that and they can refer a few other people and you're listed, you get a profile page and you're listed. So if somebody searches your area code, it shows up first, the closest one to the address where they are. But that might not be the one, and then you can go to the next one. But the coolest thing is you can, like, let's say you only eat paleo, right? Like crazy strict eating rules.
Yeah.
You can find in there a person a dumpling shopper who only does paleo. So
Yeah.
like you
It's
can
similar
find
to
somebody that's so suited for what you do. If you have a special diet, if you are very picky about your groceries, I don't know. I mean, if you're willing, what up, Hannibal? Happy holidays. If you're willing to put in the time, I don't know. I think it's worth it. I've seen a lot of people do really well with dumpling. And it's and, it,
it's
and
like
it's your own business, you got to
it's like
build it.
any other business. It's the hardest part is starting out.
Yep.
And I tried that with my electrical business, and I have my own customers, but the hardest part is getting them, and the making sure they trust you. And like you said, eventually they're like, "Oh, I'll leave it a key," or they put that little lock, and you enter your password, and they building trust between you and the customer is.
Well, let me put it this way. So Hannibal's now in the room. His prime app is Rover. And so like Rover's the same way.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you're going to take somebody's dog out while they're not home. And so
Yeah.
like after you do a few, you get a rating, and you know what I mean? So like then people can go kind of on the rating because it's based on other people rating you. But in the beginning, I would imagine, yeah, it's it's a lot of you really just have to hit the pavement and sell yourself.
Well, that happened with Rhodey as well. I kept going for the Best Buy because Best Buy is only a minute or two away from me. They would never accept me until I took about 10 Home Depot orders. And then I guess because of the ratings or the amount of deliveries that I did, after like 10 Home Depot orders, Best Buy started accepting me. I haven't done it in a while. Those most of the time break down to $1 per mile. And like I said, if you're somewhere else and you're trying to get back home, it's worth it. But otherwise, if you're trying to make fast money, then those are your last resort. So it's always to have a backup for the backup. That's the
Right.
way I see them.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I see it as work all the apps you can. and
Yeah, well,
you
because
know,
sometimes it gets slow on all of them, and then
right,
it
and
instead
know how to play those algorithms back a little bit, and if you're thinking, "I don't know how to do that kind of stuff," you do. I mean, you might not be as good as some other people at it that actually work with that kind of stuff, but to be honest, you know when an app is starting to really upset you, at that time, just turn it off for a week.
well, that's the
Put
thing
it
with
on if you have other app options, put it in timeout. 'Cause I can't remember where it was said the other day, but it was said perfectly that, um it's like the apps when you're like raging the apps like Uber, rideshare, they don't want you. But as soon as you stop using it, they want you so bad to come
they
back.
start sending you promotions and we
Yes.
miss you and you're our
Where
favorite
you been?
driver.
What are you doing?
The customers miss you. You had so many good ratings. Yeah, I've gotten those from pretty much every single one of them.
Right,
Uh,
but you know as
Grubhub.
well as I that, like, if you're driving both Uber and Lyft and, like, you find yourself driving one more than the other, at least for me, all the years, I would find myself, like, saying, "Okay, I'm not even gonna leave Lyft on because Uber's just been killing it for me, so I'm gonna keep working it. If it
Yeah,
changes, I'll turn them both back on." But I would
yeah.
just do that. But
You
then it
just
would
flip
start
back
going
and
down,
forth.
I'd turn them both back on, and Lyft would start beating it, and I'd say, "Okay, that's one," and then I'd let it happen a few times. I'd say, "Screw it, Uber. Now you're trying to, like, shortchange me because 'cause I'm working hard."
Exactly.
Like, so
And
I'd
I
be like,
go,
"Off," and I'd just leave it off for 3 days and work
yeah.
other apps.
Well, that's why I like to say
I'd put
know
it in timeout, man.
I like to say know your worth and just go with what makes you happy. I know a lot of people get hate on taking low offers, but if that's enough for you, if you're single and you got no kids and you're still living with your parents and you want to take the $3 orders to go get your coffee, then that's up to you. It's everybody's choice. I mean, it does affect us, but we're nobody's here to judge. I mean, that's the way I see it. Because I
Yeah.
have taken $5 orders when I'm supposed to be going out with the family to the beach or something, and they're still sleeping. And I'm up at 7 in the morning, and I say, "Oh, I'll take this $5 offer so I can pay for my Dunkin' Donuts coffee." So I'm guilty of taking some low offers, but it depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah. You know what I learned early on, and oddly, I haven't done rideshare since pandemic started. I mean, I've done other apps, um, but not rideshare. All my rideshare was prior to that. But you know what I found was that when I didn't turn on at my house in the morning, even if I was in my car leaving, not just sitting here waiting for that first ride, because I'm somebody who believed that don't come home till you're ready to be done. Because if you go home, it's too easy to get in a you know distracted,
Oh,
stay
what?
there, whatever,
Yeah.
turn the app off, go, "Oh my gosh, I forgot about this, that, the other." So, but then it was more than that. I wasn't even just turning on and driving out of my driveway. I learned that going about a mile and a half to 2 miles away from my house and going to a good area, like a good fishing hole for rideshare, turning on there, if I would just like 7 to 8 hours, let's say, in a day, on the days I did that, I would usually make about $50 more. I can't say that it was because of that specifically, but it seemed to start my day off with a good ride and keep me in a better algorithm to do that. I don't think they like it when you turn on by your house. I
uh,
don't.
I, yeah. Well, I
Because
mean,
that's like it's like when you get with like 3 miles from your house and you're like, "Oh, I've been working 9 hours, I'm going home," and they're like, "You want a $50 airport run?" And you're like, "Oh."
well, that was that's one of the things that changed with Grubhub. Like I wait for a good offer from home, and usually I'm half asleep, and then I still got to brush my teeth, put a little water on my face to wake up. And then until they started doing that, oh, we see that you haven't moved towards your order. I'm like, What is this?" The first time it ever happened, oh, what is this notification about? Because they have the ready for pickup at a certain time, and you can go earlier, and that's what they want you to do. But the first time they ever did that, I was surprised, and I was like, oh, they I guess people are going later, or they do that. They wait at home, and then they're not ready, so They now they send you an alert to you know, move it. They kind of like pushing you to go towards the pickup.
For
So
sure. Hey, when we started, we were saying Merry Christmas to everybody, and it just kind of threw me off. I forgot to say thank you for coming on, Arturo. and
yeah, thank you
and
for
also you drive in White Plains, right? You know,
White Plains,
that's
New York, Westchester County. Yeah.
so what else does that cover like in a given day? Not just if you go out of your way, but is it just White Plains or is it
Oh no, no. I go as far as Connecticut, which is another state. And then the cities around here would be Rye, Portchester, Yonkers, New Rochelle, Eastchester.
okay?
They take me.
So you have a lot of markets around you.
Yes, roadside started in, they call it Lower Westchester and Upper Westchester, so it's south or north. They started just in Lower Westchester, then they added more of the Upper Westchester. So sometimes I go there, and then with Uber Eats, pretty much I turn it on anywhere. I
Yeah,
mean, I went about
right,
3 hours away on a trip to Six Flags to indoor water park for Six
right.
Flags. I turned the app on just to be curious, and it started working. And DoorDash too. That's the only downfall to Grubhub. They set you to a region. I saw somewhere that now they're planning to be like Uber Eats and DoorDash, where you can do it from anywhere. But I still see myself as just in a specific area. So I have to look into that.
I think it speaks volumes and is very sad when somebody's plan is to be like Uber.
Grubhub is the best for
Our
me.
goal is to be bad.
I started Grubhub in 2017. Uber Eats was the first one. I actually was driving 30 minutes away from my house to go get $5 orders. So, like I said, I understand why some of the people take low offers because I had just quit my electrical job, one of my
Wait,
main electrical jobs that I
2017 was food?
2017
Was
I
food?
started doing food delivery.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't think it was till like the next year. But
Um,
okay.
yeah, because Uber Eats was my first one, and Uber Eats I found through Facebook. At first, I thought it was a scam because you hear everywhere, "Oh, don't log in through here, go directly through their website or something."
Right.
But I had just quit my job. I had money saved up. I had my daughter's birthday coming up. Went on Facebook, and they're like, "Oh, you know how they say, earn 15 to $50 per hour." So I was like, "Oh, this sounds good." I log in, they're like, "Oh, unfortunately, we're not in your area, but the closest thing we got is in the Bronx." The Bronx is not a nice area. Most of the Bronx is, like they say, the hood. Um, but I was going up there taking the $5 orders. I was also paying off a car, so I was taking pretty much everything, and that's how you learn. So the best way to learn is just to go out there and try it out yourself.
I
That's
think so
why
too.
I like to tell people download the app, try it out. It might work out for you, it might not. Every market is different. Just because
Yeah.
my market, Grubhub, is great, it might not be great in your area.
Right.
It
No, no.
depends where
Yeah.
you live and how busy it is and how much they're paying.
Yeah. I mean, and it does. I mean, I know people who live in a DoorDash market or an Uber Eats market or a Grubhub market.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm talking to people, drivers, and all the time, and I know people from all over in the cities. It's crazy, like how some cities view one platform that, like where I live in Denver, is huge, and we're like
yeah.
Denver's like 800,000 people, so it's a big town, you
Oh yeah,
know.
like I said, I can go down to the Bronx nowadays, or to Manhattan and make twice what I make now, but it's not worth it. The stress, the parking, the people is it's a whole different area, a whole different. Everything changes. Anywhere from big buildings, and some of them don't have elevators, and I'd rather stay here close to home and know where I'm going and not be not it's
Well, if
sometimes.
you live in an area where you can just turn on by near your house and get local delivery, and you're doing delivery, and you can get local delivery rides, why wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
And like,
you don't want that's that I was just speaking first about money and then second about just but if you live in a populated enough area with enough other populated areas that are close by, I think you're set because then there's I mean, this is a perfect example of why some people's market works a lot better than others. Because if you can just turn on and there's even if there's a lot of drivers, when there's that many people congested and there's that many little towns all over, as you get closer to a huge town like New York City, it's like,
yeah,
I
New
don't know.
York City, the walkers and the bikers, they're the ones making real money. They give them 3 or 4 orders, and those people I've heard are making in 4 hours like $200 easy. So
On what, a bike?
on a bike or walking, even walking, because they'll pick
Yeah.
up 4 or 5 orders from a salad place, and some of these places, it's literally in the same building. The restaurant is at the bottom, but the person ordering is like on the 20th floor, and that's because they're working from home, so they're doing Zoom, and they just want it dropped off at their door because they can't walk out of the Zoom to go downstairs to pick up the food. So Manhattan is it's a big opportunity if you can hustle that way. But I
Are you are you like Lisa? You can't go and work there, right?
food delivery you can.
Oh, you can.
Taxi
I know
you
her and I
cannot.
were talking about rideshare, so she wasn't wrong, but
No, rideshare you cannot
like
do
she
in the
can take
city.
somebody there, but she can't take anybody out.
Correct.
Yeah.
They even
But
have
but
the
food you can. They let you just
food you
go.
can. Food you can.
Wow.
Food you can.
Well, yeah, I always forget. I even did that episode with a friend who used his RV to go around the country, and food you can do everywhere.
Oh yeah, you can turn on the app and do
Right.
it anywhere.
I always
Uh,
forget this. He traveled all the states even and did. It's kind of funny, but
yeah, the taxi business is different because they're even color coded. The taxi in Manhattan has to be yellow. The ones in the Bronx have to be green, and here in White Plains they have to be white.
yeah.
So
We
they
do Jason Thierry from the Gig Economy podcast and I do a show called Rideshare Nation on Friday nights on PNC Radio out of
yeah.
Houston, and it's a call-in show. It's the only 2 hours a week that's a live rideshare thing. The rest of the week, it's truckers radio,
Um,
and it's truck driver music, it's truck driver shows, talk shows, call-ins, and
oh,
then it's us 2 hours a week.
there's some truck drivers on YouTube too.
Yeah, no, and so we've kind of gotten down with the trucking community a little bit. It's pretty cool because a lot of them moonlight and do gig work or rideshare.
Yeah,
Like when they're home between they'll do like a 10-day run, be
yeah,
home, and then do like 3 or 4 days of rideshare.
yeah, and that's with the truck driving. For me, I couldn't do it. I can't stay away from my family. So, like I said,
No, but dude,
everybody has to make their
we
choices.
all gotta love them though. Without them, we'd be screwed.
Oh yeah, no, we do have to love them, and
There's a respect for. I mean, it's almost like serving your country, man.
yeah, and it pays well. I'm pretty sure that's why they do
It
it.
does. It does. But like you were, it's a lifestyle, man, and you give up. We've talked to a few, but you give up your life pretty much.
Yeah, well, with the my local taxi company, I also pretty much gave up because I would start 5 a.m. and then work till 1 a.m. most of the time, 6 days a week.
But
And
I
that's because the local rides would only pay $5, and it's the same thing. They can give you a cash tip, but it's not very common. And
no,
then I would just take naps in
yeah.
the middle of the day. But
But
it wasn't a healthy lifestyle too, because all you do is drive and eat, and you gain quite a bit of pounds. So
yeah. So on my audio podcast, I think there's a video up on it. But I had been trying for a long time to do a piece on the audio podcast on the taxi medallions in New York.
yeah.
Not the taxi medallions in San Francisco, not taxis in any other city, just the New York City taxi medallion holders. And I wanted to talk to a cab driver, and I got on the Taxi Hour, which is a 2 hour show every Sunday morning. I got connected to it, and I got put on with two like 40-year-old veteran or 40-year veteran
Oh.
cab
They,
drivers.
let me tell you something. They're probably mad. they're probably
Well, yeah,
they're
I mean,
mad
they
at
were,
Uber.
but we have a good relationship now. Like we have a nice friendship, but because they appreciated that I was calling to truly learn. I wanted to learn
Yeah,
what happened to the medallions
yeah.
because the TNC really screwed that up. Like the last medallion sold was in 2014, and Uber was already in New York City, and it was sold for $1.4 million.
Yeah, I heard somewhere from half a million to $1 million, and now
Right. I mean, dude, that was like when those guys told the story, that was a sense of pride. That was a job with pride. If you had a taxi medallion,
yes.
you were gonna bust your tail working, but you were gonna earn a good blue collar uh lifestyle in New York.
Oh, it was a career. I did electrical work for a taxi medallion holder with the yellow cab,
Right.
and he invested in houses and other stuff. So they were making good money because they can pick up anybody who waves them down. And so
Right.
one ride after the other. Manhattan, it's not worth it to own your own car in Manhattan. You're gonna pay a lot of money for parking,
Yep.
and people would rather just take buses, trains, or the subways. The transportation is a lot cheaper than having a car. And most of the people who travel to Manhattan don't even live in Manhattan
Yeah.
because it's so expensive as well. I saw another YouTuber as well who all he does is go around and show the places that they are renting in Manhattan, and I think the lowest is like $5,000, and we're talking about a one-bedroom studio, pretty much. But
Yeah.
it's just the
Yeah.
fact that it's in Manhattan, and then you can go downstairs and go work, or everything's accessible. Manhattan has everything, but it's pricey.
The
It
the
costs.
the pandemic turned Manhattan into what I've called San Francisco since the pandemic started too. But it just took a little longer to get there. But like I say now about it's the same as San Francisco. Both towns, there's two types of people that live in both those towns. The 1% and the homeless.
uh, homelessness, God, homeless
Both
people.
those towns though, San Francisco and New York City.
New
You have
York
the you
City
have the
gained a lot more homeless people
right, you have the 1%
after the
and you have the
pandemic.
homeless. There's nothing in between.
I mean, within I didn't go to the city. I didn't go to Manhattan before like 2 years before the pandemic, and then I returned after. It was a whole new scenery. It was a lot
Right.
more homeless people on every block. I think I got two homeless people on every block, and it used to be one every 3 or 4 blocks. Now
Right.
it's even worse now. So
Yeah.
pandemic really it took a lot of jobs from people.
Right, and it's not like everybody went homeless, obviously. A lot of people just left. They moved
Yeah.
out. So I don't even know, I mean, how everything's rented. It seems like there should be a lot of vacancy in New York City from what has been portrayed as, like, people leaving or going homeless or this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how everybody keeps doing it, but, um, okay, so, which apps I forgot we haven't even touched this yet. Which apps have you done or do you currently do?
I started out with Uber Eats, which I still do.
Right.
Um, Grubhub. Then from Uber Eats, I said there must be more apps similar to this. So I went online. I found Grubhub, which at the time was also seamless. Um, so I got on with Grubhub. There was no waiting list for me, but because it was 2017, they
That's when Grubhub was showing was that when it was the only one showing the full tip?
they always
Or
did.
no, they all were at that point.
Yeah, they always did. Back when
Uh,
I started with Uber Eats, the other reason I had to take a lot of lowball offers was because they would fire you for a low acceptance rate. They would
right.
deactivate you for a low acceptance rate when I first started. So I had no choice. I had to keep it above a certain acceptance rate, or they would get rid of me.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
as much as I hate the law AB5 and I
yeah,
do a lot of stuff on it. talk to a lot of people. I'm involved in a lot of that stuff and making sure it doesn't go worldwide or nationwide. But that's the only perk it provided was
Yeah,
that AB5 made it so that hey, you guys can't have an acceptance meter on there anymore. So even though they have one, it doesn't mean
yeah,
anything, and we all know it now. So
yeah. Well, now it doesn't. It did. It
right,
did
but
on
because
Uber
of
Eats.
AB5, when they said and they had to do Prop 22 and say, listen, we're not employees, we're contractors, right? Well, then that meter doesn't matter because acceptance isn't a thing with ICs.
Right. I can choose to decline whatever I want.
So it's funny that's when they stopped using it. But the funniest part is they didn't remove it from the app. They still want you to see it,
Yeah.
like you 3% acceptance claimer. It's like they want that in your face, like for
Well,
whatever
over here,
reason.
my acceptance rate is pretty good, only because I mean it's 1 out of 5 orders that I take. So about 5 of them are low balls, and then the rest are pretty good. I mean, I have a good. They have good offers around my area. You just gotta
Right.
watch mileage. That was the one thing that went bad with the Grubhub. They were hiding the mileage. And when
Yep.
I started, they were showing everything, and then they took the mileage away. But because I know my area, I know approximately how many miles, so it never bothered me. But I'm glad they brought it back. It helps you make your decision a little bit better, you know.
Right.
Because and that's one of the things that really bothered me. They would show you the map and the pickup and the drop off, but they were very sneaky. When it was very far away, they would zoom out so that it looked like a short distance. But if you zoomed in, you can tell that it was, it wasn't that close. Um, uh, what was that? And then I got on DoorDash. DoorDash, I
Yeah,
tried.
that's when you had to know your area. You had to be able to
Yeah,
go like zoom, like you said, and without the exact, without the actual like showing you on the lines to it, like just knowing I know where that is. I
yes.
know how long that takes me.
Oh, and
I know how far that. Yeah,
because I drove local taxi for my area for 4 years, I had my little sheet of my trips from White Plains to every city or every place, how much it should cost, and the taxi ratio at the time was about $2 per mile. That's where my brain just kept that mentality. So I do like to take the $2 per mile. And that's that's a good offer to me, but I do take $1 per mile or something like that. But
yeah,
you just learn by experience. That's the best way to learn, to take the calls and and then see if it pays off. And uh, for me, the thing I don't like about people, they say, oh well, you got to think about the wear and tear on your car and stuff. I used to have cars and put money into them and make them look nice and keep them clean and try to maintain them, but at the end of the day, that car is only your tool. So don't fall in love with your car.
I will.
When
I will say, unless you're an XL driver,
yeah,
if you're driving like premier stuff, because I used to work for a limo company too. So like if you're doing like Uber XL or something and you have a Yukon or you have an Escalade or something,
yeah,
there's a very I mean, I used to do the same as you and keep my RAV4
yeah,
for here in Colorado. That's perfect. And I would keep it clean. I would end every day with filling up the gas tank, taking it through the wash. I had a monthly subscription, all
yes.
that stuff. So I mean, that's how I would just end my day because I liked it clean, and I thought that I do believe that in rideshare it is important because I think that when people get into a clean car, they're much less likely to leave a more of a mess.
Oh yeah, when it's rideshare, you have to keep it clean and you have to think about it. But
Yeah, but with food, I mean, yeah,
yeah, but in the long run, that car is not gonna last you a lifetime. And the more you drive, the more possibilities to earn money. If you just say, "I'm just gonna drive this car 100 miles a day," then that limits your income. So you have to balance it out. And then for me, I take all my cars as a tool. I don't know if you've seen, but I have an Acura. I gutted it out. All I
yeah.
did was put all my tools in it. That Acura, the tools inside of it are probably worth more than my car now. So You have to.
You leave them in there. You pull them out every night.
No, no, no. I leave them in there. I have two
Really?
cars. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Is
but
it you're in a garage or something?
yeah, I'm in a safe area.
Okay, okay.
But they you got to see what makes you money and what's gonna make what's uh, uh you have to think about what's gonna make you the most money. And
Right.
you
And that's
driving
why
50.
I wanted to ask you about what you do with electrician because I've known a few electricians and you get paid pretty well for that. So
I do get paid pretty well. I had my only
I
mistake.
don't know what level you I mean like I'm forgetting what they are too like journeyman or whatever.
Journeyman, yeah, well, I'm not a helper. I've been doing
Yeah,
it
I
for
mean I forget what they even are though. So
yeah, I've been doing it for 15 years. Don't have a I don't have what is like you said, I don't I'm not classified as anything. I work for a contractor. I've been doing it for 15 years and uh the person that first taught me, he used to do a little bit of everything, carpentry, plumbing, so HVAC. I did the HVAC for 2 years. Then he quit everything and just started doing electrical for commercial work. So we maintained a lot of the big stores, Bed Bath and Beyond, Starbucks, T-Mobile. So I had a lot of experience on that. But that kind of job takes a toll on you. So I went back to residential, and I make decent money, but they took me from Trader Joe's, the supermarket. I was working
right.
overnights. My friend took me and said, "You want to come help me?" And I thought I was just gonna be a helper carrying his tool bag, every day. And I thought maybe like, oh, we don't need you anymore. Go back to Trader Joe's. But they, I like to be productive during work. I like to help out. If there's nothing to do, I find something to do, or I'd go and clean up, tidy up or something. I'm not the type of person to sit there and just wait for somebody to tell me to do something. So
Is it
they
just
like
not
me.
consistent enough or cuz
Oh no,
I
wait.
mean I'm curious why he hasn't I maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that electricians like making people journeymen and like or upping their game.
Oh no, no. That's where I was going. I made the mistake of thinking it was going to be like a part-time thing or the 2 year thing, but I it became a career. And in the electrical business, you have to work for somebody who's licensed for 7.5 years just to be able to take a test to prove that you're certified or uh, competent enough to go wire somebody's house. The company that I work
that's a state law obviously,
for New York, yes.
right?
Um,
So I mean
yeah,
it's different state by state.
yeah. The company that I work for, he was not licensed, so the 15 years that I put in with him doesn't count. It's like not going to college and not getting that degree. I I know more than most of the electricians out there. I'm the one who they send to go fix their mistakes. Even with the people that we work with, like the other day, because commercial taught me about control systems and sensors and all this other stuff involved with electrical, as far with low voltage and everything else. Just the other day, the guy put in a breaker for a hot tub, which is GFCI protected, so you don't turn into a fried human inside a bathtub if something goes wrong. But he wired the breaker the wrong way, which it was only because he had to put his reading glasses on. It was in very fine print where the certain wires had to go. So he blew a fuse, and all he did was just give up. He's like, "Oh no, tell him to call the hot tub guy." And with my experience, I went and I tested out the fuses. It was just a blown fuse. We went to auto parts and we replaced the fuse, and I got it fixed. I like to pride myself on being able to fix everything. It doesn't always happen. That's why I gave up on trying to fix plumbing issues because it always
Yeah.
ended up being a disaster. I'd go to fix one thing and it would turn into a big job. The customer never wants to hear that. They want to hear, but it was just a leaky faucet. Now you're telling me the whole pipe system has to be replaced, but it's because their pipes are old and Once I turned the pipe with the wrench, the whole thing cracked, and then they didn't. Nobody wants to hear that. So I gave up on plumbing. I still do electrical, but I am not. I don't have any type of certification. The current
Plumbing's
boss,
plumbing's a shitty job, man.
literally, watch some plumbing videos when they open the drains for the poop, and then they just blow the poop out. I don't even know why they would record themselves doing that. It's just it's not for me. It's definitely not
I
for
have
me.
a friend I used to work with in the bar who he became a plumber and then now he's a master plumber and has his own company. And
Yeah.
he tells me about some of the stories. He was telling me like one time he's like, "Man, over I was like this high and to go shut this off uh and I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "Man, I was on like 7 times pay."
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, "You need me to
Yeah.
do that, huh?" Like
I think plumbers probably make more than electricians. Put
but
it
he
that way.
yeah, it was actually like a proof to me that he was like, "That's normally if it was like an ankle, like that's a $200 job. I'm gonna charge you 4 grand."
Yeah. Pretty much. And we can do that too, like when when people their wires burn up and they it's winter time and they have electric heat. We could do that too, but they can wait sometimes. But
Yeah.
as far as plumbing, if you can't take a shower, I mean, you got to get it fixed. Or if you can't use the toilet, you don't want to keep asking your neighbor to be able to go to the bathroom. So I think plumbers have a bigger advantage when it comes to persuading customers to get the job done right away.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I just
But
wanted to I'm running back a little bit just to say hi to a couple people that I had seen, but I'm still learning this part, man. I gotta tell you guys, you know this about me anyway. I'm a audio podcast guy, and even when I shoot those and do those videos, those are already I don't have to watch this, but I'm getting better. I am getting a little better at it. I noticed all the people that came in, like Ryan Wynn said, "What up to?" Um, Thomas is in here or was, maybe still is. Everybody else we had said hi to, except for I just saw Roy came in too, and yeah, thanks guys for joining us. Happy holidays, and we're just kind of telling some stories here. So, okay, so back to that. If you're doing a lot of electrician work, it pays well.
it does. But here in New York, everything's expensive. Right now, currently, I'm in a two-bedroom apartment. It cost me 1,800, and then I gotta pay, extra things. So I gotta pull in about 2,500 just to cut even, and that doesn't include food and every other expense, gas, and
But I
um,
guess what I'm wondering is, do you make more doing gig apps than
no,
electrician?
no, no, no. But I do make. Sometimes I do make the same amount if it's a really good day. Like with the roadside the other day, I made uh about $90 in 2 hours, which is pretty good. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
yeah. And the reason I don't make that much doing electrical is because I work for somebody, so he takes home most of the money, while I do all the work. But because of the reason that I have no certification, only because I worked for somebody who wasn't licensed. They worked for a national company that covered the 50 states, so they were the one with the license and the $1 billion insurance. So I gained a lot of, like Lisa said here. I gained a lot of knowledge, and I'm very good at my job, but I have nothing to prove it, and
That's
so
that's so crazy, man.
yeah, well, it was my mistake. Like I said, I never thought it was gonna be my career. I always thought it was just a part-time thing. Like, I'm not cut out for this, because I did take about 4 years working for that company until I installed my first outlet. And back in that time, I used to still drink. I don't drink anymore. And the funniest part is that it was one of my worst hangovers, and they told me, "Oh, here, change this outlet," and I got electrocuted about 5 or 6 times just trying to put one outlet in, and then I learned from there. You know, you gotta show up to the job and be sober and focus on what you're doing, and it just starts from there. I took on a 14-year-old. I started training him. He is now 18 years old, and he's working for the company that I used to work for. So I things like that really make me proud that I'm able to teach somebody and then they can move on and make their own money. A lot of people talk about, money and how much you could be making, and money is good and it helps you with a lot of things, but uh, we're only going to be here for a short amount of time, and I think you should take more pride in your family and you being able to teach somebody just one little thing that they're always going to remember you by. And
Yeah,
that's one of the things that makes me happy.
I agree with you there, man.
I've seen a lot of people that have a lot of money and they are not happy, and it's pointless.
Yeah,
you're
I agree. I
and
agree
you're
with you
working
on both counts. I
you're
agree with
working
you
night
that
and day, and that phone never stops, and it's just it's not even, you don't even have time to enjoy your money. So you have
you
to take
know
a break,
there's
and
there's times in your life you gotta maybe you're working 3 jobs.
oh yeah.
You're gonna do it. But
Hmm.
then you gotta remember to balance that later when you can. Like, don't think that when you can go down to one job, you're like, "Oh, cool, like, now I can just work 50 hours or 40 hours a week and be good." Start with
Yeah.
30 after a transformation like that and take some time to yourself. Go out of town. Because like he just said, like, especially look at this. Look, I mean, I don't. We're not gonna get political at all, but look at this world right now, dude. I mean, enjoy some time too, because and then that's part of being here tonight is just
Oh,
seeing all these people that I like and saying happy holidays to them all too. Because I mean, this is crazy. If you're not it's way too easy to focus on the negative right now.
oh yeah.
You don't have
Uh,
to just be a person that watches the news or that does this or that or the other. If you leave your house, if you enter into the world, even just things like seeing the masks and things that you're used to, just make everything weird.
oh yeah. Oh well, the pandemic taught me that too. I went to homes for elderly people
Right.
during the pandemic, and they were very sad. They're like, my grandchildren don't want to come visit me. Nobody wants to visit us
Or they
because
couldn't though.
they yeah, they couldn't. But the way they felt, they said, "Listen, I lived my life already. This is worse than me actually passing away because I feel like nobody loves me." It's like before it even started, they were already having a hard time getting together with them. It's understandable, but that's one of the things. I mean, you should cherish your parents and your loved ones first, and then worry about the other things. Because nobody takes time to talk to the elderly people and see what they think until
Yeah.
they pass away, and then it's too late. And
Yeah.
even my father calls me and he tells me, he talks to me and stuff, and then he asks me for money. But just the fact that he calls me, it's just, that's
I know people who literally weren't able to see their parents in nursing homes like in South Dakota
yes.
and in the nursing homes in South Dakota, and they live in Nevada, like some of my dearest friends. She wasn't allowed to see her dad for like 18 months, and they made the trek out. And when, like, the day before they got there, like 6 hours out, he died.
Oh,
But I mean, this was driving her nuts. She would go to see him every couple months,
yeah.
and
No,
then she
it was
couldn't.
very, very sad for the elderly. Even up to this date. Today I went to do a jump start on a '92 Buick station wagon. She told me the car is 30 years old. She had a little stutter. She was elderly, and she said she was planning to go to vacation to visit her grandchildren, and then they found out the grandchildren had contracted corona, and now I had to go jumpstart the car because she had to go get groceries for herself because her plan was to be over there, so she didn't buy any food. and it's still affecting people nowadays. So to just reach out to your parents, tell them you love them, or your children. I
Yeah,
still have my children, all my children with me, so I'm
yeah,
very happy. When I I always joke around and say I can't wait for them to leave, but I think they'll never be gone.
yeah.
I
Well, I
still
mean, you and I were talking before we got on here. You have a 17-year-old, right?
Yes, the oldest one's
One of
17.
yours is 17, so mine's 15. So if I even say that quickly, it's like not even far after, even when I'm like, oh, teenagers, like even I'll still be like, oh, like I already know I'll miss him when he's gone,
Oh yeah,
you know.
I think
But
so. I mean,
now I got to be on guard to make sure he doesn't hear that and use it against me or something. Like,
there's a phase where they don't want you to talk to them like they're still your baby.
right? Yeah, we're past that now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he
That
doesn't at all.
I still do it with the little one. My wife still calls him his baby, and he's like, "Why does mom call me a baby?" I said, "Because you're the youngest one."
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Um. So I don't know what are you hoping? Let's kind of start winding it down with this. What are you hoping for in 2022?
2022.
Like, do you have any like new, even if they're not like concrete? Do you have any new, like, even just shot in the dark ambitions, or ones that you are focused on, or
Well, I currently live in an apartment, and we just went to look at a house. I'm not buying it. I'm renting it.
okay,
Uh, I could probably buy one, but it's gonna be an hour away from here. So for now, we're gonna rent one in White Plains, and it's a whole house. I'm gonna give my kids more privacy, and I'm gonna have more room to do whatever I want. So that's one of my main things. And in January, I can move in, um, and then I'll start saving a little money. And living in an apartment is hard. You got the neighbors downstairs and upstairs, and you always have issues. So that's one of my main goals. That's why I've been working really hard,
right?
saving up, and because you have to put the first rent and the first what's it, the deposit. So that that's my 2022 goal, and it's happening. I already got the keys. So the kids are gonna have a backyard. They're gonna have their own room. I'm gonna have a
Yeah.
little room because, as you can see, my wife sells jewelry, gold-plated
Okay.
jewelry, silver, all types of jewelry. She also sells cosmetics. So she's Mrs. Do It All as well. she she's been going down to Manhattan. She's been buying wholesale, but they make her buy around $300 worth of stuff, and then she resells it and makes a profit off of it. So there's many ways to make money out there. You just
Oh yeah.
gotta put your foot down and see what works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so for you though, just kind of like, other than the move, like just staying on track, no like work changing, no like thinking about how, I might do more of this, or I might.
The electrical keeps me. It pays the bills. And
Right.
then the gig jobs. I mean, the only thing I'd look forward to is just DoorDash showing the full amount. Then I'll be on DoorDash more constantly, and then I can do it anywhere I want.
Right.
Uh, but aside from that, I just wish they
You've
all
got a
paid.
you've got a good no, I like hearing that. You've got a
Yeah.
good balance. It works.
Yes, I
Your
work.
your your electrician to gig ratio works for you.
It
You're
works
happy with it. Yeah.
perfectly, and uh, you have to put in the time. When I first started, uh, I was only making $9 an hour as a helper. It was very low, very low pay compared to what I make now. But I wasn't doing much. I was just carrying tools, passing the material to them. But you have to put in the time. Any type of business, you have to slowly grow it until you reach the point where you say, you know what, I don't really need you, and you don't need me. So let's just come in on an agreement of how much I need to make and how much you can afford to pay me, and we'll both be happy. And that is the reason I went back and forth about 2 or 3 times with my old company. I would, quit and then come back, but it was only for negotiation purposes. I'm getting a raise. Otherwise, you only get that $1 raise every year, and it
Yeah.
doesn't cut it. That's why with the whole $15 per hour in Manhattan, it doesn't. I I don't approve of it because the more they get paid for the low, what is it, the wage, it just means everything else is gonna go up. The price on food's gonna go up. The price on gas is gonna go up. If they get paid more, all they do is just balance it and just raise the price on everything else. So,
Yep.
and like my coworker who is around 50 something years old, he said, uh, I don't want people at McDonald's to make $15 an hour because that's how much I started as an electrician, and I don't think they deserve it because you don't really need that much experience to be working at a fast food restaurant. We need people working at the fast food restaurants, but that should be like a starting job, like like an entry job. Even my daughter, I'd like to do lives with my daughter, and
Yeah.
my daughter said, "Well, I would like to work as a cashier." I said, "That's your dream job?" And she said, "No, just to, straight out of school type of job." I said, "Oh, okay," because hopefully that's not your dream job. And but I try to talk to them. But in the
You
end,
could always have her talk to Roy. He's in here.
but I like to. I
Roy
like to
can set
talk
her
to them,
straight.
but in the end, whatever they choose to do, as long as they're happy with it, and as long as they're making enough to pay their own bills, that's gonna make me happy.
That's where I am too, and I think the only thing I would add to that is as long as they put in the effort to make sure that's what they wanna do too,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And I guess you've seen that already in your kid. I'm seeing it in mine, but, I mean, there's times you don't, and you wonder, and you're like, "Dude, if you're not really focused on everything right now, how you gonna know what you're gonna do?"
Oh yeah. I mean, my 17-year-old, he had different plans. He tried to sell, he tried to sell sneakers online, and he got scammed. But he learned from that. I even paid for the
Yeah.
shipping. I was so busy with so much stuff that I forgot to ask him if the person who bought them had already paid. And the person said, "No, send them first. I'll check them out. If everything's good, I'll make the payment after." So the guy claims he received them, and they weren't as described. So he never made any payment. And my son sent his sneakers away and didn't receive it, not even one single dollar. So sometimes you got to learn the hard way. And I took him to the. I spoke to him. I said, "Listen, this is just a learning experience. I mean, you didn't lose much. You got those sneakers for $80, and you thought you were gonna get this great deal on selling them, and it didn't happen. But I said it's only $80, and take that experience. Now you know you have to charge the customer first before you even ship them out. It's just like I said, everything's a learning process. Everything takes experience, and
Yeah.
that's the only way you learn. I mean, I have ruined a lot of things doing electrical too. Not so much lately, but there's heaters over the entry doors at any store. During the winter, they're blowing hot air. I stuck a screwdriver and it touched the high voltage with the low voltage, and it was like a gunshot going off. And the people that could shit like, "What happened? Are you okay?" And it cost them quite a bit of money. I blew up a controller too. Same reason, just the low voltage and the high voltage. As soon as they touch, they short out. But the worst one, I was working on a rooftop in Bed Bath and Beyond, and it's their rooftop AC units and heat. I was drilling to run a new wire for a sensor to check the temperature. I drilled through the wrong part. I punctured the condensation line, and all the freon started leaking out. It cost my boss 7 grand, he said. So it did.
Yeah.
If you're building a business, get the proper insurance.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like all the people here say, get that rideshare insurance, get the commercial insurance. because one little mistake can cost you thousands. So
Oh yeah.
make sure you know what your job entitles as far as insurance.
Well, if you're doing a bunch of things like Arturo does or I do, when I do it, it's not anything for laser is usually on the road. Otherwise, it's just programming at home that I do in our Laser Max software.
Yes.
But like we do all the Carnival Cruise Lines, Disney, Toyota corporate. We do, you know, stadium concerts, things that I mean, we do huge events, but so I don't really need to use my car around here. If I'm using my car here, it would just be to go to the airport. But like do go to your insurance agent and like if you're like what Arturo's doing, electrician, gig work, just tell them the things you're doing.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too. I mean, like if you are doing gig work, I think it's time. I think we all know this, but just to put it out there, make sure that you call because I know Progressive used to be rated a grade B, but they're now rated a grade A, and they actually compare to grade B insurance. So make sure that you call two or three places and compare, even if you've been with a company for a long time. Whatever the quote they give you is, call other companies and read that exact quote without the money and say, hey, how much would you charge me for this? And read them all the deductibles and all the amounts of coverage and just see, dude. Cause I think that, people get locked in with their insurance and sometimes, they just don't feel like they're going to bail on it.
That
So,
that is very true. I used to have Progressive, and then I went to my agent who takes care of the insurance, and she looked up another quote from Farmers Insurance. I dropped by half. I was paying like $2,500 for two cars every 6 months,
yeah,
and now I'm only paying around $1,200, so almost $200 a month for two cars.
right.
But it was a big difference. So always price it out, but make sure you have the same coverage.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah, I mean, you
But most
obviously,
people, I'll be honest, it's even one of those things I get lazy about. Most people if they get happy with an insurance agent, and especially like me, like I've had to deal with my insurance agent on two occasions that were pretty big deals, and like everything happened fast. He took care of me. He was the man.
yeah.
But I've been with him 14 years. I mean, have I really like dug in the last four with the pandemic and two before? Not really. Like, it's almost like I feel like I'd betray him, like he's my boy or something,
No,
because he's been there for me. But at the same time, you do need to compare him because you just never know. I mean, like you can't stick with him because he's your boy if you can get the same coverage for half from a
yeah.
known
Sometimes you
carrier.
feel bad, but you gotta understand some of them are working. They work off commission too, so
Right. Yeah.
you might see them as a friend, but they see you as
Oh yeah.
their source of income.
It's on my birthday I get postcards from two people, my Allstate agent and my dentist.
Uh, all I get is calls to come fix. Everybody's job is urgent. Everybody's job is an emergency, and
So
that's the other reason I don't focus too much on the electrical. It's a very good job. It pays very well, but everybody wants to be there now. Now
oh
you
yeah.
have to come to my house now. My light isn't working. I can't
Right.
focus. I had
Right.
one guy call. They were renting, and I I do work for them, but they were renting a house, and the guy had flickering lights, and he said my daughter can't focus, and then she's gonna have a whole anxiety attack, and it's just you know electrical is a type of job that causes you a lot of stress. And
Yeah.
because I'm one of the main people where I work, it's always they're asking me all the questions. I miss being the one that just sits back and says, "Oh, I don't know what's going on. Ask him." I miss that part of the job, but I'm that person that has to speak and explain to them. It's good. It makes me feel good, but sometimes I just want to take a break from it. The only reason I can't walk away from electrical is because of the pay. If
Right.
I
Yeah.
if I could focus on gig jobs, they would just have to pay more. They
Yep.
don't they don't pay enough to be a full-time job.
Well,
Not for me.
so here's what I wasn't sure if I was even gonna tell you because it's so embarrassing, but I'm gonna go ahead. So anybody in this room is probably lucky enough to hear this embarrassment. It's crazy. But it has to do with your channel and me, and then I'm gonna let you do some shout outs because I know you got some stuff coming up too. So we're not done after this, but but then we'll sign it off. But so Mr. Flex had told me a few times to check out your channel, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I learned about you. And I think you were in his room once, and you and I were side chatting like you do in Flex's room because they're 12-hour streams, or especially when they were. And he was, I was like, he's sometimes not even there for an hour. It's
Yeah.
so it's like just other people. But you and I were chatting one time. You're like, yeah, come over to my stream later, and I did, and I I remember it was the first time I can't even believe I'm saying this. It was the first time I had ever seen the prism glasses in headphones.
Yeah.
I thought that was real, bro. And
Flex thought,
I do laser and lighting for a living. Like
yeah.
all I had to do was really look close, but because you were in a dark car, I really
Yeah.
thought that was real. And I was like, how is he driving around like this, man? I'm like, this is nuts. The car was flashing. You had those and those, and I was like,
He
what
thought,
the
he
hell's
thought I
going
was like
on
that
here?
that taxi driver with that did the questions and gave the people the money. What was that called? Yeah, no, Flex thought the same thing. He said, "I thought I was tripping." He said, "I
Dude,
thought,
seriously.
I said he thought they, he was smoking the wrong stuff."
Well, because and I'm not familiar with those prism camera effects either. I don't you're the only one that I know that uses that effect.
Yeah, I
So
I like to be different, and I saw Flex. He inspired me to do the ride-alongs, which I do on and off. He
yeah,
inspired me to do the ride-along, but I didn't want to be the type of person. Oh, I'm gonna copy him and just do ride-alongs, and I
right.
don't do full 12-hour ride-alongs,
No,
just
no. I've
casually.
I've
But I
watched
said,
yours now, and obviously everybody in here, I think, watches Arturo's channel, and even
yeah,
everybody that's passed through. By
I
the
said
way,
I
I
want
didn't
to
say
do
hi to
something
Noah
differently.
earlier. I know he's in here, so what up, Noah? But
I said I
yeah, I
said
mean
I
yours
want to do
yours yours
something
are way
differently.
different, man. I liked the one where you were fake playing the trumpet. I just saw that one like about a week ago. I can't even remember what it was. I think you're waiting on DoorDash
Yeah, yeah,
support
that
or
was
something.
I was at customer support, but I like to put a little comedy into it. My kids know that I have fun. You can't be at any job and just be mad at every little thing. You just gotta learn. Either just decline the order or just have fun with it, or just expect to take a loss. But don't get mad because it'll ruin your whole day. So sit back,
Absolutely, absolutely.
make a joke out of it. I mean, like with Roy, he got bit by the dog in the arm while delivering pizza. I told him if you caught that on video, you know how many subscribers you would have gotten. You know how viral you would have got. I said you missed the perfect chance. But I always bring that up, or I tell him you're the best. You're the best dasher that doesn't really dash. I like to I like to joke around with people, not to try to be mean to them.
No, man,
I'm
that's
not a
but
comedian, but I do like to
yeah.
soften up the mood and make everybody smile.
I do that too, even sometimes at not necessarily overkill at the wrong times, but because I talk about some heavy subjects with some people who really are in the know, sometimes I find myself laughing a little, but that's just my mechanism to try and make everybody feel better.
Yeah, it's always been me. I
I'm
like
just
to. I don't like to be the center of the party, but I like to make somebody smile because sometimes
yeah,
you don't know
exactly.
people are going through rough times or they're sad or whatever the case is, and all they're waiting for is just for somebody to make them laugh, and it changes their whole day. And it's just and when I go live, I try to be in a good mood. For me, there's no reason for you to go live if you're just gonna sit there and complain and be mad at the world. That nobody really wants to see that. I mean, if it happens in the middle of your stream, that's perfectly normal. But if you're having a bad day, don't go on YouTube and let the world know.
No, we've seen too many people do that. What up, Omer? Hey, so Arturo, let's plug everything you got going because I know I think there's a couple things in a short day range even.
Well, I do monthly giveaways, and
Yeah,
like I
right.
always said, I make enough money to pay my bills, and my gig job is just the extra cherry on top. And before YouTube, I never focused on the gig jobs as much as I do now. And it's only because I started watching all the YouTubers like Flex, Bacon. Bacon inspired me. Sorry, Beacon. Nicholas. He inspired me because when I first started watching, he did a 24-hour live. I said, "What is wrong with this man? Why is he doing a live stream for 24 hours?"
If he's still in here, Nick, you always are 24 hours live, man.
No, but he did a 24-hour live
I
without
know.
cutting it, no sleep, no nothing. And I said, "Oh my God, what is wrong with these people? Don't they need to sleep?" And then I would see Sensei too. He has all this energy all the time,
Yeah,
and and I see Flex doing the 13, 14 hour shifts. I said, "How are these people doing it?" And I can't do it. And so by watching all the YouTubers, it inspired me to come home and then go out and make some extra money. So it's just a simple way of giving it back to them. I mean, in one day I can make the 50, $60 that I'm giving away doing the gig jobs, and that doesn't even touch my electrical work money.
right.
So it's a token of appreciation for everybody that comes and interacts with me. When I did my first giveaway, I did it to the people that were commenting, but some people just comment, just to show support, and I understand how the whole YouTube works.
Yeah,
So I changed it over to people who are in the live stream so that you show the people that are supporting you uh that you care, and that then they get excited. People get excited. It's not a lot of money, well,
no.
not for me,
Hey, man.
and just a little way to give back, like the simple thing that you did, that I gave you, won the first prize, but
Yeah.
you essentially just returned the favor. I mean, you sent my daughter a $25 gift card. She saw her name on it. She said, "What is this?" She was very surprised. She was very happy. And then I saw the stickers. I put one on my car. I still have the other ones. I got to put one on my Acura. But it's kind of like a Santa, Secret Santa. It's just, you
Yeah.
just give back to show appreciation for people that show support and that care about you. And
I
you,
hope that was nothing against your other kids because that night
uh,
was the first time I ever got to know your daughter a little
yeah.
when you left her in the car.
About that, my little
Right,
one.
and you're like, "I'll be back," but you were
Yeah,
still watching her on the phone because
yeah.
we're all being parents, like, "Make sure the doors are locked," and all this stuff, and
Oh,
I remember
I lock
she
my
said
doors all the time.
something, and you said, "You better not do that," so you were still on your text.
No, and she has her tablet. It has service, so she can call me. But I lock the doors every time, and
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
she
no, I
got
know. Dude,
yeah,
she was so protective. I mean, I know you had it, but it
yeah.
was funny because like, all of us in there were doing the same thing. We're like
But this one did feel bad. He said, "Why
uh,
did she get a gift card and not me?" I said,
because the
"Because I can't take you to work doing food delivery with me. Only
yeah,
roadside, because of the safety issues too. I
yeah.
can't leave him in the car while I'm going to pick up an order or drop off an order."
But now
So,
you have did I hear it wrong? Because I thought I heard you have 2 coming up.
yes, technically I only do one every month, but I give away three prizes: first, second, and third. First prize is $50. Second and third, 25. And then once in a while, depending on how the stream goes, sometimes they talk me into doing a little consolation prize. uh, my wife has a big assortment of jewelry, bags, plush dolls, all these little. It's kind of like a little boutique, like a Five Below in here. So
Yeah.
sometimes I just grab something from there, and it's just a little giveaway. But it's just having fun with people, and I've always told people I didn't come into this for the money. I'm not in it for the money. I just I I get motivation from watching other people and interacting with other people. I even stopped paying my cable bill. I don't have a cable or my phone anymore. All I have is internet service, and all I do is YouTube, watch videos, and stream everything. So, I mean, YouTube is pretty much my main social media. I'm on Facebook, but I'm not really on there anymore because it's just it's different. It's different in here. As soon as I first found out that people were on here live and like talking and interacting with people, I said, "What is this?" I said, "It's just like Facebook, but it's actually it's a little bit better." And the the reason I got on is I don't know if you know Pate to Drive, Pete. I know a lot of people in here they don't like his videos
I
because
feel like I've heard of him. Maybe he was around before me. So
yeah,
yeah, I've been doing podcasts forever, but I've only been around here about 5 6 months.
he's got about 25,000 subscribers or 27, I think. He's pretty big in there. And I was on YouTube looking up something for the job, how to do this or how to do that, and I got a recommendation. I guess they pick up when you're close to somebody. I got a recommendation, and I said, "Hold on, I know this guy," and I walked into him numerous times doing food deliveries. And we sat down and talked, and he never ever told me I do YouTube. At late night, he would go home at night, put on a chimney background, and then just conversate with people and talk about food delivery. And and I saw his face. I said, I know him from somewhere. I know him from somewhere. And then finally, I walk into him again. I'm like, why didn't you tell me you had a YouTube channel? I could be watching you or getting tips from you. And he just said, and then I commented on one of his videos. I said, "Hey Pete, do you make money off of this?" He said, "Yeah, you can make some money." He said, "Well, how?" I said, "How did you start?" He said, "Well, I just started talking to my phone one day on YouTube, and then people just kept watching." And I said, "Okay, let me give it a try." I said, "I got a lot of content to put up." I started with the roadside. It's hard. It's hard to do this YouTube thing. It takes a lot of time. It can get stressful. I've seen it with other channels.
Yeah,
It can get stressful. So if you need time off of YouTube, just take it. Take
yeah.
some time off, and it can get overwhelming. And
Lucky for me, most of mine comes from the podcast. And like this
yeah,
week was number 9. Next week is episode 99.
yeah.
The first
But
the first Tuesday of January is my 100th episode.
well, I'm almost at 1,000 videos. They're just random. That's why
Right.
I never pick.
These are dropped every week. These aren't so this is my audio podcast that's dropped weekly.
Yeah,
And that's why I brought some of it over to here. I mean, it's the audio podcast a little bit different because I have different pieces in there too. It's not
yeah,
just always just the interview or whatever, but
yeah.
we got a ton of listeners over there. Just took me a while to get over to YouTube.
Yeah, the reason I put does it all and will never change it is because I don't want to focus on just gig work, or I want to more like a blogger, but I don't want to say Arturo blogs or something like that. It's different. It's unique.
No,
Everybody,
dude, I think your name fits you perfect, and it's because you're an independent contractor. I mean, like,
yeah, everybody. I think everybody should be unique, and that's just the way I see it. And it I try not to copy other people. I do take their ideas, but I change it up a little bit.
yeah,
Like the giveaway. I saw when wheel spin, but it's only because I don't have as much time, or I can't put the effort into doing a whole laptop. I mean, you saw it. It took me one day just to figure out this password and to be able to get the
yeah.
StreamYard to work. I just don't have the time to do certain
But
things. So
now you're
I
back in it, though.
yeah, I do the best I can with what I got to work
Right?
with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Me too.
uh, December 24th, Christmas Eve, 9 p.m. I will be doing a first prize giveaway, $50. Uh,
That's tomorrow, everybody.
yes, tomorrow. Yeah, there's certain people that are in because they're always on when I stream, whether it's gaming, whether it's just a random short, whether I'm live streaming the roadside assistance, and they show a lot of support. so they get added on the wheel. Or if you share me out or mention me. And have you seen the new mention tab on the YouTube? You go to subscriptions and then it shows your notifications, but then to the right, I think it shows mentions. If you put at and then the person's YouTube name, it it
Uh-huh.
it shows that they're mentioning you. So that's another way
Oh,
you could
okay.
enter.
Okay.
That's another way you could enter it, and that's just helping promote other people. And I've
Well,
always said,
I'm gonna put in the show notes. I'll put all your links. I'll put your YouTube, but I'll put even to the video tomorrow, or I don't know. You probably don't have it pre-listed up there, but
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know how to do a premiere on YouTube.
well, so I mean, I know you've watched a lot of my stuff talking about being unique, so you know my channel's unique too. But um, a lot of my premieres are because I already recorded them for the audio,
Yeah,
so that's just replaying. So I'm in the room with you guys.
yeah, yeah,
I'm not actually doing the live then.
yeah. But I think you could do a premiere with a live.
Well, yes, I set up this as a premiere,
I
so
have
people.
no clue how to do it.
Well, but I did it through StreamYard, but you can do it through YouTube too.
I tried. I put a schedule for a certain date and time, but it doesn't show up on YouTube as like a premiere. I don't
Did
know
you
why.
did you try it on a computer, not
Not on
on
a
an app?
computer. I tried it on
Yeah,
my phone.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you should try it on your computer.
Well, this is the first time I opened up this laptop and
Right
figured
now
out
it
the
works again.
password. So I'll try it now and see if I can do something.
Okay, so tomorrow night's Christmas Eve, and I think that um, so your thing is gonna. Is there a time?
Time 9 p.m. Eastern time. Same
Okay,
time this stream started.
perfect.
Uh, and I usually do the first of the month. So every month on the first. Also at 9 p.m. just to keep it consistent. And like I said, I do first, second, and third prize, but because I'm splitting it up so that people can get a little bit towards their Christmas money, so they can go out and buy one of their family members or their friends a little something if you choose to. You can pass it down. A lot of people have done that. They've won and they're like, oh no, give it to this person. If you need it, take it. If you don't, if you want to pass it on, that's up to you. Flex has passed it on, so sometimes it became accumulative, or the other person just, they say give it to this certain person, so it's up to you what you want to do
Yeah.
with your earnings. But because I'm breaking it up into a Christmas special and a New Year's, I'm only doing two first prizes, so essentially I'm giving away the same prize amount. Like I said, it's a little bit of money, but it's just a little token of appreciation. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
way I
man.
see it.
When you did it with me and and I won, I was like, you were like, go have dinner on me, and I was like thinking, well, yeah, I could do something, but instead
I
I
think,
just instead I just got my son a gift card and your daughter a gift card.
and when I first started, I think quite a bit of people thought it was like a scam, like I'm trying to get their information or something. And I said, listen, it's your choice. If you want to contact me, go ahead. If you don't, then I'll just give you a week, and then I'll hand it off to somebody else. But
Right?
you know,
People knowing somebody's Venmo, they can't hack you.
yeah, but the people do think that
I
way.
know, I hear you.
But
I'm not laughing about it
yeah.
at people. I'm just saying that there's nothing you can do to somebody. If somebody that's going to hack you isn't going to be looking for your Venmo handle.
But because it's become like a ritual, now people know that it's for real. I'm not just
Yeah, yeah.
trying to get your info. There's a quite a bit of ladies in here that have one, and I send them. They're either I have their number or something, but it's not for me to call you or to stalk you, or it's definitely not about that. I know a lot of people have that fear, but no, it's just like I
Well,
said.
I think there's a few people out there in this community who have put that fear out there too. I don't know enough about it. Like some of you guys been around for the deep dive, but
No, like
um,
you said, it's a crazy world nowadays, and
yeah,
I understand them. I
yeah.
understand where they're coming from.
But I mean, like, hey, Tony, what's up? He just walks in now. Happy holidays, Tony. But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like, I gave you and I have each other's
Yeah,
phone number. I didn't mind, like once we connected, I had already kind of felt like I connected with.
yeah,
I
that's
Good
you.
people are easy to connect with, man. You just gotta, if you're hesitant at all, man, don't start giving your info
Yeah.
out on social media.
But my brother wants to go. He's studying for cybersecurity. You can walk around anywhere and figure out people's information like this. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I, I don't have to give out my information. People can just retrieve it.
Oh man, you can. There's devices you can just be 8 feet from a credit card
Yeah.
in a store and just get all the information off the.
Yeah, we did electrical work for a detective. He said he was on a YouTube video or like a show that's on YouTube now, and he said they have things where they just pull up in front of your house and can look into your computer.
Yeah.
So yeah, anybody can get your information. So I'm
Yeah.
not. I just want to let people know like that's not a it's not a scam.
Right. Just don't get too rich, people, because then when they hack you, they just move on. If
Yeah.
like they're like this guy ain't worth it. Like.
Yeah, I tell him, listen, you can hack into my bank account. You can take my debt. You can pay off my debt if you want. And there's not much to take there. But definitely don't put the money under your mattress. That's the old school way.
All right.
I,
Well, guys, everybody, thanks for joining us. Sorry, I wasn't. I'm getting close, guys, to popping these things up on there. I have a real habit of watching my guest, so I've been watching Arturo. I got to learn how to do that side eye. I don't know. Maybe Hannibal can teach me. He's good at it.
oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
at the comments. I can
Yeah,
see them too, but I can't focus. Yeah, for some reason I'm focusing on the screen too. But
yeah. I think
thank
I
you
just need to have
everybody.
a. I need to get into this second device thing and have it going.
Yeah.
um Closer to me, but like I also wear glasses. I don't have them in. But yeah, so next Thursday we got Willie Boots. That's gonna be fun. And that, you guys, is gonna be in person. Willie Boots is traveling right now. He's gonna be coming through Denver. So we're gonna do it in person live. So that's gonna be pretty cool.
Eh, who do you think gave him the name Willie Boots? I think I did. It was either me or Bacon. It was either me or Nick.
Yeah.
One of us did it. But
Yeah, I don't know.
somebody gave me the name Turtle too, and then Sean T. Uber, who's a rideshare driver, did the I like turtles.
The first couple times I saw that, when people were doing that about your name, they'd put the A in a turtle. I
Yeah.
swear I was like, "What the hell's that?" Like, I could never. I was always like, "What is this?" Like, and then finally when it came to me, I'm like, "Oh, duh!" Like,
I've been. I have so many nicknames. My name is hard to pronounce. I got another YouTuber that calls me Ontario. I
yeah,
had another YouTuber that called me Astro. Like the Jetsons dog. So every
yeah,
time I go on her live, she said, "Hey, hello, Astro," and she's like, "Oh, it's an inside joke." So I, I, I can be called so many names, but it's okay. It's hard to
yeah.
pronounce my name.
All right,
So
guys. Well, hey, smack a like on this for us. No
please.
money involved. Just smack a like. Follow Arturo. Follow me. You're probably following both of us, I hope, but follow us. Um, and check out our super awesome videos, because we are unique.
Also,
we're different. We're,
January
di- we're
1st
different
as
from the
well,
rest,
9
you
p.m.
guys. Um,
So
but
the New Year's too.
uh, but yeah, happy holidays, you guys. I'm sure we'll see you around here or there on different live streams. But this was the last one I was going to get in before Christmas. So I'm glad Arturo was willing to do it kind of last minute, and I'm glad that a bunch of people got to show up. That I got to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, be well, be safe. And Arturo, what do you got? Do you want to say goodbye?
Thank you, Steve, for inviting me. It was a pleasure, and happy holidays, and enjoy every day, and cherish your family, and don't worry about the money too much, and just focus on the most important things on life, which is friends, family, and children, and your cats if you have some, or dogs.
And,
uh,
and staying healthy, people, too.
Yes, stay healthy. That's a
That's
very big thing nowadays.
yeah. I
So
mean, I forget all the time, and then like winter rolls around, and that's a big season of mine for snowboarding and backcountry stuff. And if I
yes,
haven't been doing stuff through the summer, like these pandemic years, I've just been like totally out of whack, and it really change it can change you. So even if healthy is means something different to all of us, obviously, but whatever it means to you, make sure that you feel healthy with yourself. I guess is
yes, be
how.
healthy and be happy with yourself, and don't if you need help, just reach out to somebody, and words can help a person. So definitely, if you need help or you need to feel loved by somebody, just reach out to somebody.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
All right. Well, Arturo, thanks for coming on. Uh, that was awesome.
It's
And
a what?
thanks, guys, for dropping by. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon.
See you later.
Peace.
Thank you for stopping